What is going on? Hey, Greg.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Good.
It has been, how are you doing?
All
It has
right.
been far too long. We were just talking about when the last time that we did one of these. And Greg determined that it was
November 18th.
November 18th.
November
No, wait,
18th.
we didn't do anyone
Nothing
in December?
or January.
Well, I don't even remember December. Do you remember December?
That's because you didn't make it a December to remember.
It was not.
The Lexus commercials, right?
You-
You know where they always give like their
Yeah.
teenager a new Lexus for Christmas?
Dun,
And,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Anyway,
dun, dun,
yeah,
dun.
there it is.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's weird. Sorry, I looked down and I
What
saw
is
two
weird?
Andys.
Oh, that
I
is
have
weird.
two windows open.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's terrible. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
It is a month into the new year. And so there's a lot of
Dude.
stuff that has happened since we've been able to do this.
Crazy.
And it was a combination really of busyness, sickness. Greg was gone for a while.
Then back. Then sick.
Christmas, then was back, then got sick, and then got sick again.
Mhm.
Or somebody else got sick. I don't know.
Something like that.
Did Jordan ever get
Jordan?
sick?
No, huh?
Oh, okay, well,
No.
that's good.
Jordan and Riley
That's good.
made it through.
Yeah.
Just the boys.
Girl power.
Yep. Jordan had it.
Can we say that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm all for it. Jordan had it in the fall of 2020, like when a lot of people from like Ben and Terry that time.
Okay.
She had it right before it. Well, it was like
So it's like the
around
real
Halloween.
thing.
the original, the OG, the
OG.
OG coronavirus.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we had Christmas, and that was a busy month, and then New Year's, discontinuing Saturday services. Man, so much has gone on. New Year's.
Lots of construction
Oh,
around the building.
dude, seriously.
So much has gone on in the building.
Right.
In fact, I think that was a factor in one of those weeks. We couldn't. Yeah, because they were doing
Because
stuff
they were
in here.
doing the
They're
carpet in this
and
room.
paint in this room.
That's right.
So that was maybe 2 weeks. We had some funerals in there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
as well. We had
Like 2 or 3
with Thursdays.
in December. Like
yeah,
it
on
was-
Thursday.
Yeah, or 2 in 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And, yep, on a Thursday. Yeah. People are always trying to intrude on our podcast hour. With carpet guys.
This is like the least
painters, it's just-
important thing that we do at Northridge.
Yeah, probably.
Not because
But we have fun. So
not because we don't say anything important, but just because.
basically we say very little.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
if
word.
you are, for some odd reason, clicked on this for the first time and you've never joined us before, just real quick, what we do is we just hang out and talk about Northridge stuff, about things that we like talking about, and then we'll drag in some other, as followers of Jesus, something that might kind of be interesting conversation in that whole realm. And that's really all we do.
Yep.
And it's mostly just to give him a chance to just talk. Just kidding.
Pretty much Andy has something organized and planned, and then I take us off the rails.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Greg, the new year, do you ever do New Year's resolutions?
Not really. I don't think I've ever.
Do you remember the
done like a
last time you've
resolution.
done one? Like, I'm going to start or I'm going to stop or.
No,
No, you don't remember?
I kind of just don't worry about improving myself. No, no. I may have. I honestly don't remember. I make a joke about it every New Year's Eve, but
It's the
no,
same meme.
It's the
isn't it?
same joke every single time.
Or what?
I
Yeah,
look like I have about 12 hours to lose 30 pounds, but yeah,
30.
there's a variation of that.
Okay.
Yeah. This year I think it was
40.
something.
Okay.
Could be more.
Now you listen to, you lost a couple viewers from it, I think. You listened to Erwin McManus,
Yeah.
various things, and I think it was on his Battle Ready podcast with his son that they were talking about the one word for the New Year thing.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Have you ever heard that? Did you do that this year?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you, you know the concept,
Yep.
is
Instead of saying like I'm going to lose 30 pounds this year, or I'm going to read,
30
a
books.
book a month or whatever it is, it's like health or something, right? Like a one word kind of overarching.
It could
or
be
healthy,
it's just
like,
one word that would
Yeah.
that you want to, looking back at the year, to be able to summarize or that achieve that
Yeah.
idea that year. And so I have a word. We'll talk about this later. I'll give you the whole podcast.
Is that word Hawaii?
It is not.
No? Okay.
But at the end of the podcast, I'll ask you again. So you have kind of
Okay.
some time to think in the back
So
of
now
your
I have
head.
to think of something?
Yeah, now you have to think of something. While you do that, I got some other questions. In the youth group on Wednesday nights, every once in a while we'll do this game called Would You Rather.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it'd be fun to throw a couple of these at you, Greg. They're a little bit more, not grown up in the sense that it's like PG-13. It's just more,
Mature?
I wouldn't ask the kids this because they really haven't life experiences that would give them the ability to answer these questions. So, would you rather, and you can type in what you want in the comments section, would you rather have a fully stocked fridge all the time? Or would you rather never have to fill your gas tank?
Man, that's so hard.
Think about that. I got to check something here.
Fully stocked fridge with what?
Whatever you want, man.
Like you just
The
think
world
of it
is your
and it's
oyster.
there? Like you imagine it and it's there? Or like is it just basic staples? Like your milk
Basic
and
staple.
cheese or whatever?
Maybe whatever you would, like your kids. what
Like
you
your
would do.
typical stuff?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a hard one.
I mean, gas is essential to your vehicle running. So
yeah, and
it's
I'm
whatever
gonna
is
go,
essential to.
and it's because I had to get gas the other night when it was like 10 below, and you have to answer like 50 questions on the screen before you get to actually pumping gas. I'm gonna say gas.
Gas?
Gas.
Never have to fill your
Yeah.
gas tank again?
Yeah.
Nice. So with that car theme, here's another one. Would you rather have a self-driving car or a completely automated home?
I like driving.
You like
There are
driving?
times where it'd be so nice to have a self-driving car, though. But I actually enjoy driving. So, but automated home could seem a little creepy. That could get weird, can it? Like, what's automated?
Whatever you
lights?
want. Sure.
Your
TV.
self-stocking refrigerator?
Yeah, the oven.
How,
Lock the doors.
how does it know what I want?
Turn on some
How's it
romantic
kn- how
music
does
for
it-
me and Jordan. Not me, you and Jordan.
Yeah. But how does it know what I have to tell it?
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
oven,
yeah.
turn on.
I mean, it's unless you want the neural link thing to your brain.
No, but what? So you're eliminating the step of like just walking to the oven and pushing two buttons like on 350, right?
Yes. So you could just
Seems
say,
so lazy.
hey, whatever you would name it.
According to Phil Whiteford,
Hey, Betty White, turn on the
all
oven.
those
to
smart refrigerators always break like ridiculously.
they?
Like yeah, I guess all the computer parts break. So
Have you ever used the robotic the vacuum cleaners?
no. I bought one on Facebook and it didn't work. The guy was actually very honest and gave me money back. He
Oh.
bought them like, yeah, he bought them like, they were refurbished things and then he was just trying to resell them. And I told him, hey man, it's not working. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I'll give you your money back.
Like the first honest transaction
Yeah,
on Facebook
yeah,
Marketplace.
yeah.
That's turned into like a scam.
It's a
scam.
den of
It's all
thieves,
scam.
man.
Ugh. So what do you think? Self-driving car
Yeah,
or
I'll go self-driving car because I feel like that'd be convenient
kind of
at
fun
times.
when
Yeah,
you want it? It doesn't always have to be.
yeah, you can turn
Yeah.
it off.
Would you rather have it 90-degree weather all the time or 20-degree weather all the time?
90 degree or 20 degree?
Yeah.
20.
All the time?
I could do 20.
Gross.
90's wow, 90's hot, man.
85. 85 or 20?
85 and below, I'm good. Is there how humid is it?
It's the same humidity at both levels, 50%.
See, where I grew up, it was hot all the time, and I just always hated the heat.
You're asking questions that I haven't created nuance for.
Well, I know your answer for that. 90,
Yes.
you would go 100
Yes.
degrees
Not, I mean,
before you go 20.
yeah, probably.
I would take 85. I would take 85.
Okay. Would you rather be able to speak to animals or speak any foreign language? This is one that I would
What
ask
about
the
foreign
kids.
language like dog language? Does that count? No? I thought I found a loophole. So like C-3PO or...
Or Jim Carrey, the
I think
pet
the foreign
detective.
language thing. I would
Foreign
like to.
language
Yeah, that'd be cool to just.
Have
be
you
able to
ever
walk up
have
and
you ever
talk to
wished
anybody.
that you knew what Scully could talk to you?
Yeah, he's not that bright, so we kind of know. We kind of know what he's
What
not
would your
thinking.
dog's voice
know-
sound like if he could talk?
Hey,
Greg.
What?
Like
That's
like
kinda-
Goofy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your
Oh,
enemies
jeez.
or in a horror flick with your best friends?
Horror flick.
With your best friends? Do you
No,
like
I don't
scary movies?
I don't know. Wait, which like? There's some romantic comedies that aren't bad. I've never been a huge like scary movie guy. I don't know
Like
why.
because you get
so-
scared too easily? or you
No,
just
they're
don't-
just so cheesy.
dumb, right.
Most of them are so cheesy.
Yeah.
There's been a few that have been good. One of the that messed me up the most was Silence of the Lambs because I was young and I saw that. The I think we talked about this before. The scene toward the end with the night vision.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that where he had like the night vision goggles on
Yep.
and Jodie Foster characters like that creeped me out. I was like young when I saw that, and then I remember like being a little freaked out by going down a dark hallway
Yeah.
after that.
My brother and I were talking about what's the scariest movies we've ever seen the other day when we were FaceTiming. And even today, as bad as, I don't know, at the time it was fine, but it gets knocked now. But like the Blair Witch Project.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? To me, it was the scariest one.
It looked real.
Well, because they never show the
Yeah.
big bad.
Yeah, your imagination
Every
is
time
worse than
They show the
image,
big
yeah.
bad, like The Ring, when the girl crawled out of the TV.
Yeah.
It ruined it.
Yeah.
It ruined it. But the end of the Blair Witch, where they walk into that house and everybody's facing the corner. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
still kind of heebie-jeebie.
Yeah.
But
I remember I saw The Sixth Sense in the movie theater. with some
spoiler
friends.
alerts.
But I
How
told
many
you,
years later?
I
25
knew
years
the
later?
I knew the whole twist of that movie before I saw it.
Who is it?
I was talking to some friends from work. This guy that used to go to the movies every weekend by himself and see like all the new movies, like, and they were talking on Monday about it, and I just said, "Let me guess, he's dead." And they just said they're like,
You didn't even
"What?"
see the movie. yet.
No, not for like a couple weeks later.
That's funny.
But Nate Bargatze has a funny bit on
Where he's
that
talking.
movie. Yeah,
where he's
he's like,
talking. About,
it makes
it
more.
seemed. It
he-
seemed like it made
yeah.
sense to
Because his
to
wife
not talk
wasn't.
to
We
your
just
wife
thought
for a
his
whole
wife
year.
wasn't talking to him. That made more sense to us than he got killed at the opening scene of the movie.
They told us what
Yeah,
happened in the opening.
They told us what happened, but it made more sense to us.
That's
That,
funny.
yeah,
So you'd rather be trapped in a
Oh.
romantic comedy with your enemies,
don't know.
or
but what I
or
was going to say about Sixth Sense, I came home. It was like 2 a.m, and there was like some weird power surge or something in the house, and like the
Did you see
computer
dead-
turned
Did you
on.
see dead people?
Came on. No, but the computer like all of a sudden came back on, and it was weird. Electronics started doing stuff. It was totally random, but
it a
after
Windows
seeing
95
a movie
machine?
like that, it was probably yeah,
Windows
yeah,
Explorer.
probably 95. I don't know. Vista.
Vista.
When was, no, that was too recent.
Vista.
Yeah, it was probably in 97, 2000 maybe. No, that would have been 97.
Sixth Sense. 97, 98.
It was the late 90s probably, that movie.
Oh, 97 is when The Matrix came out. Have you seen the new Matrix?
I haven't seen any Matrix.
Yeah, what?
Matrix.
Any Matrix?
No, I've not seen any of those movies. No.
Really? You've
No.
never seen the original Matrix?
No, I haven't. There was a time where I didn't see many movies for no good reason, other than I just didn't go to the movies and I never like watched them. And it would be like late 90s to early 2000s. There's a bunch of popular movies
Contact?
in that time. No, never seen it.
Jodie Foster and
No.
Matthew McConaughey?
I know the movie, never seen it.
Yeah.
Armageddon, is that the same thing?
You've never seen Armageddon?
No. Why would I watch that movie?
Why wouldn't you?
Ben Affleck and
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, this
Steve Buscemi?
Mm-hmm. Nope, never seen that.
It's actually a really good movie.
Yeah,
Space? No?
I like Star Wars.
Did you see the new Boba Fett? This one cannot spoil. The new Boba Fett episode?
Asher and I are watching it. We're 2 episodes behind still.
Oh, okay.
We just finished last night, actually. Yeah, I think we're 2 behind. So it was one where someone returns, right?
That was like last week.
That was the beginning. Yeah. Well, at the end of the one we just finished, there's music. It goes to his theme.
Yeah.
And then we watched the opening of the next one. So
Okay.
we saw the opening scene.
Yes.
But then it was just, we had
This
to turn it off.
last night's or yesterday's, even better.
Was it?
Yes.
So it's been getting trashed up to this point, though. A lot of people don't
It
like
has. Yeah. But honestly, as much as like, and yeah, it's not as exciting as The Mandalorian, but it's Star Wars,
it. I know.
and I'm happy.
Yeah, but then the other side of it is some of the Star Wars community, if you know who you are horrible nerds and just don't like anything that's new or different. And that's not how I would have done it. That's not it. But like John Favreau and who's the other guy? Dave Filoni. They're both huge like canon guys,
Oh my
right? Like
gosh.
the original
And that they've been
books and comics and all
for
that.
both
like,
The Mandalorian and even Boba Fett.
Yeah.
They throw in these random obscure things. Remember the very New Hope when they're trapped in the garbage trash
Yeah.
compact.
Yeah, I saw a meme with that. Like
Right.
the bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like it's like I don't know if they thought of it or if it was one of like the art director or something like, hey, let's take this thing and make some use out of it. You know. Anyway, it's just it's Star Wars.
It's enjoyable.
I'm
It's
happy.
fun.
I love it. And this yesterday's episode is just cool. So cool. So
Dude,
romantic comedy or
Who's
horror?
the lady that's like Boba Fett's sidekick, like partner? What's her name?
I don't remember anybody's
character
name
name
other
either.
than Boba Fett.
I know I can't.
and
Anyway,
the
the
Hutts.
actress, she's like 53 years old. I was so surprised.
Yeah,
by that
she's in
one.
a number of stuff. She was in Agents of Shield.
I was just like, wow, she's 53. She's
It's
like good shape. She
It's
looks
the
young.
Asian thing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm 120.
Are you? No, okay. Couldn't tell by that gray in your beard.
Okay.
You're supposed to have one of those long gray beards, like if you're that old.
The Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Romantic comedy with your enemies or horror flick with your friends? Keep sidestepping this question.
Yeah, no, it's a hard one. I suppose if it's a really bad rom-com, then it would be torturous to my enemies. I don't know. Doing stuff with friends is always more fun, so I'll do the horror movie.
The horror flick
friends,
with your
yeah.
friends. But speaking of movies, what is one movie that you wish you could see for the first time again?
The other movie that I saw the end before the other movie because
You see,
my friends rented it. This was VHS days, and I
they
came
forgot to
over-
rewind it?
No, I came over like right when they were finishing the movie, The Usual Suspects.
Oh,
Literally, as he's walking out of the police station down the sidewalk.
yeah, that was when we were able to. That was when we were allowed to like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I got to pick a different movie. Yeah.
You can.
That was the first thing I ever
You know,
saw,
I'm
man.
not gonna judge you.
But you know, like that's
Maybe.
the whole twist of the movie
Yeah.
at the end. And I saw that. And then I went back and watched the movie later. But I wish I could see that movie without knowing the end.
It's that. You know, I was talking to Ben about a sermon a couple weeks ago where he's talking about paradigms shifts,
Yeah.
and Jerry even brought up paradigms this last week. But we had met and talked about this. He had did the sermon for me like he does every week, and then afterwards I was thinking about the paradigm shift, and it's like that is total like a twist at the end of a movie. Like you saw the movie knowing the ending, and
Yeah.
you were able to watch the whole thing for the first time,
Yeah.
knowing that paradigm shift.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, how many times do you watch a movie that has a twist at the end, and then you go watch it again
You
just
have
to
go
see it
all
through
the, yeah.
that filter?
Oh, how'd they do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I know that
So
one
you
for
wish
sure.
you could go back and see it for the first time without having seen the
Yeah.
ending first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I guess that's I thought of that immediately for that reason, but then there's some like classic movies that are like a favorite. that you-
Classic, like Casablanca.
No, like
Oh.
Major League. Classic American cinema. It's just they're
I'm
just
sure it
so
showed
good.
up on AMC once or twice.
They're just so good, and you've seen
Yeah.
them a million times, but you wish you could
You
experience
got
that
a friend
that
in
joy the
me.
first time.
Yeah.
You know, like
Just a bit outside.
yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Are we gonna have baseball this year?
We better. We better.
All right. Well, the other one I was going to ask you has to do with video games and Marvel stuff, so I won't. I won't ask you that stuff.
Probably the Marvel thing.
The Marvel thing? No, it was more like you like multiplayer games or single player games.
I'm not a big game
Rubel said you just ruined the unusual suspects.
Did he?
Yeah, he just texted me.
Oh.
Text us. So what's happening up here at Northridge these days? Kind of had a little bit of a just a breather, in January. Still trying to get used to just no Saturday services. I don't know about you, but it's like rhythmically music. Rhythmic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's just trying to get used to just the rhythm of it all, the feel, the vibe.
But you're still doing worship team practice Saturdays, and
I'm doing that, but and the practices have been great. Saturday, come in Sunday, really fresh musically.
yeah,
But for me, trying to lead that time and curate the worship time, man, I think I even said First Luke the other week because I was just so blitzed, like my brain
First
was
Luke.
right.
Acts. I guess Acts is second Luke. Yeah, he wrote Acts.
Yes. So I said First Luke, and then I realized what my mistake was. But it's just like meandering, trying to find my way through the 9:00 service. Like, not that I would totally do that Saturday, but I had time, just more time to just.
Well, there was something about Saturday service that was like kind of a little more casual too,
Yeah.
even though. Yeah, it was just.
It's not like we treated it like some practice
right.
service.
You go in, it's the same service, like as far as the mindset, like, but there's something more casual
But
about
the group
Saturday.
Saturdays
Yeah.
made it more
Yeah.
casual.
Yeah. And
Thank you,
kinda just
Saturday
work
people.
through it, kind of. Yeah. But it's. Yeah, I mean, it's just a transition at this point. Like you said earlier, it's discontinued, and who knows what God does in the future, if that would be a need. But I know Ben was saying back when they started Saturday night, it was a need for other option, right, for people.
It really was. We were
Yeah,
packing out the seats. Now that was before we ordered more chairs.
yeah.
So we had less chairs, but we were packing out every service on Sunday morning. We're like, we need to do something. We need to either add another service on Sunday, or we need to create another service opportunity on another day. And we didn't like the idea of going too late on Sundays. Not just me, but everybody else in football. And
Why don't you go earlier? 6 a.m. service?
so we like the Saturday idea. Somebody said they want to do worship practice on Sunday mornings at like 6:30. I said, if you can get 75% of the team to agree to that, I will do that.
Really? You'll be here at 6:30?
But there's no way that she's going to get 75% of the team to agree to that.
Not a bunch of artists.
Yeah.
You guys like sleeping in and complaining about stuff.
Complaining.
I don't know. I'm just making things
I'm
up.
sure
here.
I complain about stuff.
No. I mentioned earlier to Steph Uchman that, or maybe, yesterday, maybe last night, I don't know. I said that Andy should buy you guys dinner when you guys come on Saturday to practice. She's like, yeah. Like,
Well, we usually get done before
Yeah.
dinner.
That was
The
snacks.
that was the goal. Although tomorrow or Saturday it's a group of college students that's going to be leading this weekend. They're going to be meeting from 6 to 8.
Saturday?
I don't remember. It's later, but they're
Awesome.
all young college students. And the reason is because Saturday I'm going to Hawaii.
You are?
Yeah.
As long as you don't get COVID.
Well, for me, I can get on the plane regardless because,
You got your test?
well, no, because you either need a negative test
Yeah.
or vaccination. You don't need both.
Got it. Okay.
So I've already uploaded my vaccination card to the Travel Hawaii site, and they gave me a QR code that I show at the airport. But my good buddy and his daughter, she's a senior in high school. It's always been her dream to go to Hawaii for her senior year. So we're making that a reality for her.
Awesome.
But they're not vaccinated. And so
Yeah, get the test.
hopefully they'll be positive or negative,
Yeah.
whatever it is. They'll get positive news
Yeah,
that it's negative. But yeah, I was going through my mind of like, well, what if he's positive and she's negative?
Oh,
Do I still take Maddie? She's 18. You know?
yeah.
She's like my niece. I've known her since before she
Yeah,
was
but it would
existed.
stink if like just one person didn't get to go.
right, right.
Like, all right, have fun, everybody. I'll be here in the airport.
I don't know if you can transfer tickets that late. Can you? Like if Luke could, we bought it off the Delta site,
I don't know.
not through a third party.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I wonder if you.
I think some of those COVID things that
Just transfer
were a
it
lot
to-
more lenient
Oh,
before.
yeah.
But if you miss a flight, usually they just credit you with that flight, right? You might have a transfer fee of some sort or pay a difference on another flight.
I don't know. I've
you
never
have a
missed
credit
a flight.
for that. Yeah.
What were you able to get your money back?
Yeah. I got travel insurance
Okay.
because when I bought those tickets for a conference we were going to go to, well, you guys went last week. I was supposed to, but I couldn't. But
It makes sense in today's world with COVID and all that stuff.
yeah, and I bought them that week at the end of like December 30th, if you remember, like they were canceling all kinds of flights everywhere.
Yeah, and you were out of town at the time.
Yeah, and I'm like, they're just canceling all these flights. It was $40 or something for the travel insurance. I'm like, yeah, let's just go ahead and get that. So
For both of ours?
yeah, so I'll
Oh,
get my
Dude, that was cheap.
flight gets refunded.
Refunded a complete, not just a credit?
Refunded, yeah.
Okay, cool.
The insurance will kick in.
Cool. Yeah, it was too bad you weren't at the conference. We went down to Orlando for a Converge conference called Unleash, and it was really good. The speakers were all really good. The worship time was just, for me, really, really refreshing, you know, because I'm the one usually leading. And I don't know, it's just nice to be able to, every once in a while, I don't need it regularly, but to be able to just worship and sing. Although I will say, I now know how y'all feel because I did wear. I know this isn't how masks work, and I don't want to get in a whole mask debate, but generally speaking, it seems like the consensus is wear a mask if you're not feeling well, if you're unsure if you have COVID, or if you absolutely need to do something and you're not feeling well, because that'll protect everybody around you. Wearing a mask if you're healthy is less effective because it's not really doing anything, and it's not necessarily completely protecting you from those around you that are sick. But I decided to wear one at the conference because we're walking around these hallways that are super tight and bumping up against each other. All this air is moving around and whatever. And I really didn't want to get sick before I go to Hawaii. So I was just like, I'm just going to wear my mask. And then Ben and Terry were like, well, we're going to wear our masks in solidarity, you know, to get you to Hawaii. And then Ben kept explaining to everybody, well, we're wearing our mask for Andy because he's going to Hawaii, you know. Yeah. I'm like, hey, you just don't have to, you know, say everything. Like, anyway, I felt weird because you maybe like 10% of the people at the conference were wearing masks out of like 600, 700 people. But then we go into the auditorium.
Yeah, but about 20% of them probably had COVID.
we were into we went in an auditorium, and it's huge. It's not like a stadium, but it's a nice sized auditorium, and everybody's in there, and we start singing, and I had my mask on. I got in like halfway through the first chorus, so it's verse and chorus. I'm trying to sing with my mask on, and I just said, forget this. I ripped my mask off. I can't sing with the mask. Yeah. So everybody who was forced to sing with a mask on during the COVID mask times, I totally empathize with you, and I feel for you. I don't know how you did it, because I got to stand up there without my mask on, and I went through that whole period of time thinking, well, this isn't a big deal. You just wear your mask. I now totally feel how you feel, and I don't think I expressed any irritation towards people for taking their masks off, but that was terrible.
It's hard to sing with masks.
That was awful. Like, anyway, so I leaned over to Terry and Ben. I'm like, I'm taking my mask off to sing. So
And then Ben was telling her, we're taking our masks off because Andy's taking his off. Yeah.
So yeah, the conference was bummer you couldn't be there. We were in
I
this
know.
nice Verbo. Is that how you're supposed to say it?
Verbo? I think so.
It's not like VRBO.
I think it's Verbo.
Okay, because I said VRBO one day with my brother, and he's like, "You can say Verbo, or you."
Oh,
It's
okay.
like it's Verbo, Andy.
He's like,
I'm
you're a noob.
okay. Like I am a noob. I Ubered.
Where did they come from? Like, it was all of a sudden they're way more popular at Airbnb, and I feel like Airbnb is just like
Why?
gone by the wayside.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Where all of a sudden it's like Verbo's everywhere.
Because it's not like Verbo or Airbnb set the prices, so it's not like it's
Yeah.
this or that's more
And
expensive.
probably every
Some
single
people
person that
have
has that house,
listing
they probably
on both.
Right. They
So
list
why
both.
Verbo marks popular?
I don't know. Just
Oh.
better, more well-funded advertising. Maybe it was like some wealthy people that started it had a lot of money to put into it. Because I see their ads on YouTube videos and everywhere. But yeah, it was kind of crazy.
They have
like,
better. They have commercials.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know if Airbnb has
They
commercials.
both do. I've seen
Okay.
commercials. Yeah.
Here's how noob I am. I used Uber when I was down in Orlando.
Yeah.
From the airport. I went to go meet my brother the night that I landed, and because he would just happen to be in Orlando. He lives in Savannah, but he was in Orlando. Him and some friends were going to Universal for one of their birthdays.
Yeah.
But I used Uber for the first time ever.
First time ever?
First time ever from Orlando
Not bad.
airport to go to dinner. And then when I got picked up to go to the airport to fly home from the Verbo, I used Uber that morning. Those were the first 2 times I've ever used Uber.
Uber, Verbo,
Yeah.
all these weird words, huh?
Yeah.
It's like,
The Verbo that we had was a really nice place. It was like
Sorry.
6 bedrooms.
yeah, I heard.
Not
And it was
6.
like, we
There's
got this
I think there was
this
4.
nice house, and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The bed, I will say, was not very comfortable.
Oh, I feel like you're leaving a review as
I
you
am.
speak.
Yep. It's in Kissimmee, Florida. Just kidding. Marabella Avenue. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
you got the address?
Yeah.
Uncomfortable bed.
Yes. The house was nice. The bed was not that comfortable.
Okay, you hear that? Kissimmee, Florida.
Yeah.
Upgrade your mattresses.
So what else is we had? We had one Saturday supper.
Yeah,
You weren't here for that, were you? Because you were still
I had
quarantined.
the Rona. I was quarantining.
You had specifically the Omicron.
I would assume so because my symptoms were
Very
relatively
light,
small, just some achy.
So I
Back
saw that Tom Sherman, who else won an award for that? Remember? He won 3rd place.
Yeah, I remember seeing the picture, and I don't remember who. It was like the slow cooker.
It was
slow cooker cook-off thing, the
Yep.
crock pot
Yep.
cook-off. Let me see if I could look back at the Facebook group and see that
yeah.
picture.
I mean, it was fun. There wasn't as
Yeah.
many people as normal, and maybe it was the time of year, or maybe there was
Yeah.
a lot of people that were sick.
There was a big uptick. There was a
Yep.
lot of people that got sick that time.
Yep. Ben and Terry
And
were
then wasn't it-
gone.
Wasn't it really cold that night too?
It was all right. I mean, it's been pretty
I
cold
mean,
for
it's
like
It's
month.
Minnesota in January, but still,
Yeah.
it's. I think it was one of those well below zero
Could've
nights,
been.
if I remember right.
It was fun. I had practice at night, and then just went right into the crock pot cook-off, and I
Yeah.
got to sit with the Shermans and the Van and Dites.
Okay.
I don't even know how to pronounce their name.
Van
and Nineties.
That's a fun table.
Yeah, that was Jay's kind of a goofball.
Yeah. I'll see Jay tomorrow morning and Paul. We got to get together and talk about
men's ministry.
Men's ministry.
Speaking of men's ministry, another event that we have coming up that is a crowd favorite. Once a year, we do it in the wintertime. This year it's February 26th. It's a Saturday. It is the Big Chill. And the men's ministry are hosting it, but it is for everybody. And fun for the whole family. Kids are welcome. They're going to be snowmobiling, ice fishing, ATV rides. They're going to build a campfire out on the lake for some reason. I don't know. What else are they going to do? Lake Martha, Saturday.
Yeah, I think you hit most of it. There's a bonfire in the lake. Did you mention
Bonfire
that?
in the lake, yeah.
Always freaks me out a little bit. That's just so weird.
Just being on the lake in general freaks me out.
Yeah.
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 Have you ever seen when they're
Fish fry on the like.
going to do the
usually
fish fry
Doug-
on the lake?
Well, usually Doug and like Kim Kringen, a couple other guys start cooking stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Have you ever
it's
seen?
just a lot of fun.
I think they've done this on Jason Steinkauf's lake, where they clear the ice, clear all the snow off the ice, and then they cut a circle
Yeah.
around, and then so the circle of ice
It's like free
spins.
floating. Yeah. And they
Yeah.
put like a little trolling motor or
to
something
turn it.
to make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's,
It's kind of crazy.
yeah. Have you ever been on
Minnesotans,
that?
man. No,
Yeah.
I have not been on it, but
Yeah.
Minnesotans are a little adventurous
Yeah.
with winter. Yeah.
Okay, so you got the winners.
Yes. So Becky Bryant. won
Oh,
first.
that's right.
Coffee roast beef sandwiches. Yes.
I
please.
didn't have any of them, but I heard a
I-
lot of people saying they were really good.
I bet. I mean, you got two of the food groups there. You got coffee and you got beef. Those two of the food groups. That sounds good. Renee Satrowski had second place with slow cooker cream cheese chili.
Cream cheese
Sounds
chili.
good. And
Didn't
then
have that.
Tom, third place with 3-bean hot dish.
I didn't have that either.
Yeah.
No, I just
Missed
had
out.
beef stew. I think is what I kind of just went with. I just stuck with one. I didn't even vote. Didn't even vote. I just ate some food.
Yeah. You're like the guy that just talks and complains about politics but never votes for president.
I do not. I vote.
Okay.
I voted, and I wouldn't complain if I didn't vote.
I've never bought that argument. I think you have a right to complain.
Do
If
you?
you vote or not. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I just never got that. Like, if you don't vote, then you have no right to complain. Yes, I do. I'm an American. We could complain. We do it with the best of them.
Okay.
Freedom of speech.
All right. Well, there's the trump card, I guess.
Yeah.
Should I say that?
No.
Can I say that?
I don't know. You did. I don't know. Why not complain? But you should vote.
Because it kind of gets annoying sometimes.
You should vote. Like, if you're eating the food, you should vote.
Okay.
You should vote.
So, Mister, you should complain if you don't vote,
Yeah.
or you can complain if you don't vote. I should.
Either way,
Yeah.
you're at fault.
It was a good night.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
No, I know. I was sad to miss it.
Yeah.
It's always a lot of fun.
Thanks
so.
to everybody who entered something in and helped out make the setup and all the cleanup happen, and to Terry who organized it all.
Mhm.
And we have another one coming up. Don't we have another Saturday night
Yeah.
supper coming up?
There's the meatball.
Do you remember the
sandwich
night?
thing. No. I
Off the
don't.
top of your head?
Nope. But I can
How
look
about
up the
off
exact
the top of your
date.
phone? We do have to charge for this because
food's
stuff is
Getting
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, and prices are going up. It's not much, and honestly, if it's a hang up for you, I'll pay for you. I'll help
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Alright.
Kids under 5 get to eat. Is it 5, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Kids under 5 get to eat for free, but it's $3 for everybody else, which is not that much.
It's Saturday, February 26th.
Saturday, February
From
26th.
6 to 8.
It's the same night as Big Chill.
Yes.
Am I no, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So go hang out on the ice, and then come here after the Big Chill and have some meatball subs, and should be a good time.
yeah, be a fun.
You do
filled
need to
day.
RSVP because we want to make sure we have all the right food, especially since you're going to pay. You don't want to be left out with
Yeah.
without food.
You can do that on the website. If you go to the news and events page,
Yep.
you scroll down to see a meatball sandwich.
Yep. Or if you're wandering around the building, you
Yeah.
should see some posters with a QR
Yeah.
code on it. You just scan that QR code, brings you right to the RSVP page.
Yep.
Another thing we got going on is maybe you've heard of this little crowd-funded deal that's been getting more popular and popular over the years. It's called Chosen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a TV series that's been mostly on YouTube, right?
Really good. Or through their app. You can watch it through the app.
You can watch it through the app, and it's just going through basically the life and ministry of Jesus.
Yep.
And
people around him,
bringing
like the
out-
disciples are big characters, and
Bringing out multiple perspectives
Yeah.
from people around him. And we get to have a showing here that's in March
March 12th.
12th. It's
Yeah.
a Saturday night, 7 o'clock.
6.
6 o'clock.
6 to 8.
6 to 8, there's going to be a showing of one. Okay, yesterday at staff meeting, you said standalone episode?
Well, yeah, it's one that if you've never seen the show, it's not like tied to other episodes. So
But is
it
it part
stands
of the
alone.
series?
Yes, it's part of the series.
Okay.
I think
I
it's like
thought-
the 3rd episode of the 1st season.
Okay.
It's Jesus Loves the Little Children.
Okay.
That one.
It's a good episode.
Yeah, what we mean is like you don't have to. There's no like continuing storylines necessarily that you're going to feel lost.
So
you can watch it.
Is that what they did with the Christmas special one?
Yeah, I think
Because I thought it was like a completely separate thing to the season.
yeah, I think was it more standalone.
Oh, so it was a separate thing.
I don't know.
Like if you watched,
I'm not sure.
I've
know they
watched
did.
season 1. I
Yeah.
haven't watched any of
Yeah.
season 2 yet.
Yeah. But the cool thing for us is there's Justin Overlander, who's been around Northridge for, I don't know, I'm guessing, I think right around 5 years, because they started coming when their son was in kindergarten with one of my boys, and they are now in 4th grade. So what's that, 5 years or 4 years?
They're in 4th grade,
They're in 4th grade.
and they
so
started when they're in kindergarten.
at least around there.
Okay.
4 to 5 years.
That was
So kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade. That's what I mean. It's like halfway through 4th grade year. So whatever. Almost 5 years. Around 5 years that Justin and his family have been coming to Northridge. And Justin is associate producer of the show The Chosen. So it's pretty cool. He got in at the beginning as like
right early.
doing like some communication stuff and just involved with the show. Knew the creators and people putting it together. He's been in acting and different things for a long time, but and has become a producer, and so it's pretty cool. We have him here. Actually, the small group that he's a part of is the group. They're putting it on and like sponsoring the whole thing and hosting, I should say, not sponsoring. But after the show, Justin will be available for like some Q&A and. If you have questions about the show and just
After the
whatever.
viewing
After
of the
the
episode.
viewing, yep.
So, but the Q&A will be part of the night.
right.
So it's not
Yeah.
like he's going to be off in some corner. Just
No, yeah, it'll be here in this room. Like after we watch the episode, Justin will share some stuff and answer questions if anyone has questions.
Yeah.
It's totally kid friendly, although we will have childcare available. If kids are just bored with it or just need to go run or something, we'll have childcare available. There will be snacks. There'll be coffee, soda, or I don't know about soda, but like drinks, snacky stuff. Be a fun night just to hang out, have fun, and invite friends. It'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got some people coming that I've invited. A friend of mine and his son that they started watching really only like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And he's 13, super into it. And it's kind of cool for him as a dad to be able to watch it with his
Yeah.
kid, be able to talk, have
Mm-hmm.
sort of a springboard of conversations about God and Jesus and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the show's really well done. It's creative. It's, they tell you at the beginning of each episode, there's a little disclaimer. It's like, we encourage you to read the Bible. This is not word for word
Substitute. Yeah.
from Scripture. It's not a substitute
But
for
it also
the Bible.
doesn't contradict anything in the Bible.
Right.
I haven't found.
No, and it's very well researched. They have a lot of,
It obviously takes creative licenses to
yeah.
bring out personalities and kind of,
It's
like-
dialogue and stuff that's not, the words are not in Scripture, but
Right.
it's like, of course, these people had regular lives and interacted in ways other than what we read in the Bible. So,
I mean, it's the same as like, this is a stretch, but like Marvel movies
Mm-hmm.
adapted from the comic books. Way more words in the movies than there were in the comic books.
Sure.
But most of them are not doing or saying anything that would contradict the comic.
it's still true to the
Yep.
character and theme and story and all that, yeah.
And I love it because Jesus, their interpretation of Jesus, he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that it's we can look. It just gives us the permission to think about him that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, Greg, but man, I have to believe that Jesus and God have a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's too
I
many.
mean, think if we're created in His image. I mean, we love to laugh.
Right.
Like everybody worldwide loves to laugh. It's something that connects people, and
Yeah.
there is a lot more humor in the Bible than we think. We try to make things more serious, I think.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example off the top of my head.
Like making a donkey talk.
Making a donkey talk.
It's hilarious.
Even Jesus, every once in a while. I mean, well, the passage last week that Brax spoke on, where, he, when the question came up about paying like taxes, and like, oh, there's a coin in the fish's mouth. It's like, that's funny. Like he didn't just like, oh, here, grab change out of his pocket. He's like, yeah, go grab it out of the fish's mouth. I mean,
What is that about?
It's
Yeah.
goofy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, there's a bigger point there, I guess, too. But
There always is.
yeah, but I think we want to make it. I understand why you got to be careful with Scripture and not like make it say something it doesn't. So we want to be serious about it. But sometimes I think that causes us to overlook some of the humor. So yeah, I like.
But it
how
is
they did.
wholly written based off of Scripture, without really contradicting anything,
Yeah.
without changing anything, and we're able to trust it as a supplement, so to speak, of what we read, just to kind of help it just visualize things. That's why I love, the Passion of the Christ, because up until then, we've had some pretty less than enthusiastic renditions of biblical movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But that one, it just brought things to life in such a unique way. And this is bringing things to life in such a unique way. And they plan on doing, I think, as many seasons as it takes to get through his life and death and resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I think they said maybe even up to 9 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if that's right. I was reading some stuff last week while I was in Orlando about from the director, just kind of what his vision for it all was. But
I mean, there's so many different avenues you could take with it too. Like you could go down, well, the very first episode, you really get introduced to Matthew, the tax collector, and Mary. For anyone that's hasn't watched it,
spoiler alert.
yeah,
You should just watch
that
it,
was powerful. To me, that's still my favorite one. Is the first episode,
especially towards the end.
The end, yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. And what I was gonna say, it's very well researched. They have like scholars and people that help with, hey, does this make sense? We want to write this, scene or this dialogue here. Does this make sense? Does this hold true to Scripture or to culture at the time? And they have a lot of those guys that really contribute. And Justin could talk to some of that too. But,
yeah, if you're actually concerns even,
yeah,
or questions about it, you want to kind of get some more information before you let your kids watch it or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great night to come to. Then you can ask Justin whatever you want,
yeah,
and he'll answer everything.
yep, he will.
He'll have a good answer for it, I'm
He
sure.
will. He'll have some funny one-liners and
He's a goofy guy.
witty, quick wit.
Yep.
And
March 12th,
March 12th,
6 o'clock?
6 to 8. Yeah.
6 to 8. Do you need to RSVP for that?
No, we're
No?
just hoping we have enough chairs.
Would that be
Yeah.
something that we live stream?
I don't think we can.
Okay.
We haven't thought about that, but I'll have to ask. I don't know if we can the
Yeah.
episode.
Well, what we
Probably
showed
can
it.
the other stuff.
It was New Year's Eve service that Dan
Mhm.
preached for that. We did show a small clip of when the paralytic guy was lowered down in front of Jesus by his friends.
Yeah.
And we did get special permission from Justin, who actually said that he was going to talk to the YouTube person to, I don't know, do something that they have to do to make sure that YouTube doesn't nail us or
Yeah.
something. And I put in all the proper credits and all that kind of stuff, but it was like
kids say, so we won't get copyrighted.
copyrighted.
Don't get copyrighted.
So yeah, you can show up to like a 4-minute clip or something like that without having any troubles.
Okay.
But this clip was like 5.5 minutes or something like that. So originally my plan was
It's a pretty cheap way to get out of doing a sermon.
Dan, right? I did tell him that
Yeah.
this counts against your time limit.
Yeah.
And then we watched one last night too, with the youth group.
Oh, did you?
We watched, actually, they watched one last week. I wasn't there for that. But then they watched another one yesterday when Jesus invites Matthew to follow him, which is really funny. It's funny, but it was also just this intense scene because Jesus is there. He's just like, come on, man, you know? And Matthew's in his quirkiness is like,
he's very quirky.
and then he gets confronted by that Roman guard and, you know, anyway, it's so good.
Yeah.
Chosen, we got the big chill. Easter's coming up in April.
Already.
We're in what, section 4 of our Matthew series or 5?
5.
Well, we're just cranking
Of 6,
through.
right?
Yeah, we're in chapter 20.
Yeah. No, 19.
19.
Yeah. Jerry did 18 last week.
Oh, that's right. Yep,
Yeah.
Ben told everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So chapter 19, and more than halfway. You and Mike talking about halfway through. What other Northridge stuff do we got going on? We have this love your neighbor thing
Yeah.
that Steph Uchman is leading. And there will be more information about that, but it's this really simple, cool way to reach out to those around us. You can be a part of it in couple different ways, but are you going to have a video for this weekend for that?
Yep. There'll be a video
During the service.
about it during
and
service
then
this weekend.
we'll probably upload it to our Facebook page, so then you'll see it there.
Yeah, and so kids and youth next Wednesday will be assembling these bags, putting this stuff together. And what it is are they're just little brown paper bag kits that they're putting with treats and stuff and little notes that you can write and just take them to the neighbors. Like Steph was saying, firemen, fire department, police department, whatever, community groups. But really for your neighbors and a way to reach out and show your neighborhood that they're loved, they're not alone, and there's a card on there that they can respond to if they have a need, like, maybe it's an elderly person that needs help moving some stuff around the house or whatever, and they could fill out
Shoveling
this thing.
the driveway.
Shoveling the driveway, whatever.
No, is
And,
who is on the other side of that card? Is that us
Yeah.
or Steph?
It'll go to Steph's managing this like Google sheet type of thing that or form that people can reply to, and then we'll just figure out who can help.
Okay.
So, but really, it's a way to open up an avenue or a door to your neighbors of, just getting to know them and do something nice for them and let them know that they're loved and have people in the community that can care for them.
So the kids and the youth are going to be helping put these bags together, and then you all will be able to get these bags, right?
Yep.
And then be a part of dispersing these bags out.
Just passing them out.
And then you will also have the opportunity to help fulfill any needs that might show up.
Yep.
So there's multiple different ways for you to get together. So yeah, that's Love Your Neighbor. Check it. Look for a video that will have more information, all the details and all that kind of stuff soon this weekend. What else? Click on the news and events page. If you go to the website, you'll see on the news and events page all the things that are coming up. We have, is that this Saturday, the men's breakfast?
Men's breakfast. Jeremy Peterson will be sharing.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Gonna miss it, man.
I'm going to be on a plane.
No, you can. What time's your flight?
I'll be at the
You
airport.
stop for breakfast.
I'll be at the
Really?
airport already. Yeah, it's 9:30 is when the plane leaves.
Okay.
I want to get there. I want to get there at night. I'll get there at 5:30.
Really?
Yep.
To leave at 9?
Yeah, we have a layover in LA. It's a 5-hour difference as well.
Yeah, but what time's your flight leave at MSP?
9:35.
And you want to get there at 5:30 in the morning?
5:30 p.m.
Oh, when you land.
That's when we land in
Okay,
Hawaii.
no, I thought you were saying you want to be at the airport at 5:30 for 9:30.
No.
Like what? How old are you, man? Like that's some old person
No,
stuff.
we're leaving Luke's house at 6:30 to go to the airport.
Okay.
and then we'll get to the airport around 7
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah,
So
you can stop by for breakfast.
I wish Jeremy's. That's gonna be great. He's funny. He's very smart and intelligent, and
Eh.
uh,
Eh. No, he'll be good.
as far as like, because he's a teacher. What,
Mhm.
3rd grade? I should know this. He's in my small
4th
group.
grade.
4th grade. He's in my small group. I should know this. He also
Should.
plays bass.
Mhm.
So the big tall guy in the back playing bass. You've seen him. You might not know who he is, but that's who he is. So men's breakfast this
He'll be sharing his
Saturday,
testimony,
7:30.
yeah.
Sharing his testimonies. Pretty good one. He shared it with the youth a couple years back.
He's had some fun ministry experience too. Like him
Yeah,
and his
YWAM.
wife
They
Jenny
lived in China.
they were in China.
China.
China. Yep.
For a few years. He's fully fluent in Chinese.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Worked at a lab in Wuhan. No, that's not
Okay.
true. Not true.
So it's
Not true.
his fault. It just
The
took
Jeremy virus
several years to germinate.
to germinate.
Patient zero. What else we got? News and events.
Oh, that's about it. Men's breakfast, love your neighbor, big chill, meatball subs. Cross is doing a baby drive, so baby food, formula, wet wipes, diapers.
That's February cross stuff.
Yeah, February collection for Cross. So baby shampoo, baby powder, baby toys, baby supplies, anything that babies need, Cross can use. So,
Love.
yep, including love.
Including love.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you got more questions about any of that stuff coming up, just hit us up, call us in the office, or email office@nrf.life, or just talk to Greg on the weekends. And we'd love to talk to you. If you haven't been around the building for a while, you should come in and check it out and see all the cool stuff that they're doing.
It's pretty sweet.
They're making so much progress. They had one of the sheets of plastic off that usually covers one of the doorways, and I was looking in there. It's kind of
You just look in. I've walked in.
I didn't walk in.
several times. They underlined enter on that sign. It says do not enter. Enter is underlined. It's emphasized to me.
Dude,
they want.
You belong in the middle school.
Oh,
group.
Sunday morning I was telling kids. I'm like, they clearly want you to go in there. They underline enter.
So if any of your kids get into there, blame
No,
him.
they're good kids that I know would not do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're not supposed to. So I'm like,
They're rule followers.
rule followers. Yep.
Yeah. But he's from California.
No, that has nothing to do. So is my wife. She's a rule follower.
Oh yeah, she's.
That's just nature.
But it's really cool. A lot of progress being made.
There is a lot. It's
Ben and I walked around there last Saturday and looked at all the offices and the conference room and the business center. Is that what they're calling? Business
something
center.
like that. I don't know.
The kids area and all those classrooms in the kids area are gigantic.
They're big. They're huge.
Yes.
Yep, it's going to be cool.
It'll be so much
I'm
fun.
excited for that.
Talking to Terry about
Yeah.
some technology in there. We're going to put a projector. I think we might even paint part of that wall whiteboard paint, so you can
Yes,
draw on
that'd
it
be
at the
sweet.
same time.
How cool is that?
Right.
You should do one whiteboard and one chalkboard.
Whiteboard, one chalkboard. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that.
You didn't sound that excited about that.
Well, chalk. I mean, it'd be cool. Like, have you ever seen
fun.
those blackboards with highlight fluorescent markers?
Like the grease pen or something it's
Yeah.
called, right?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've seen clear ones too. That's pretty
Mhm.
cool. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool, and they're zipping along. We should have our offices before we know it. We're both displaced. We don't have an office.
Yeah.
I've been.
Just-
This room is pretty much my office now for temporary.
Mhm.
Yeah, so come on the weekends, check it out, and join us for a service. Still doing 9 and 10:30, the regular thing. So one other thing that we're doing coming up here is you may or may not have heard this podcast called The Rise and Fall of Mars Hill. And if that name is somewhat familiar, you might have heard it in conjunction with a pastor named Mark Driscoll. And if neither of those names are familiar with you, then it's something that you might be interested. It chronicles the life of this church and this organization, called Mars Hill, and again, it's right in the name. It's the boom that this church ministry experienced, and the popularity and the growth and all that stuff, and then the fall that led to its closing its doors. And it all happened in a period of time of what, 14 years, something like that?
Yeah.
14-ish, 15-ish years.
But the extreme popularity of that church, like they were at the forefront of sermons, internet stuff being uploaded to the internet,
Yeah,
where you
early
could go find
2000s.
sermons from other places, and they were pretty active with an online presence
Yep.
before anyone else, and so it became popular. But so even in the 14-year or whatever span of the church, the extreme popularity was even compacted time before it all went ugly.
Yeah.
So,
But anyway, Christianity Today produced
yeah.
a series that was, 12 episodes with maybe a couple
Something like that,
ancillary
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
They're about an hour long, and it's just a journalistic look into the whole situation, interviewing people that were part of it, audio clips, some interjections and stuff from the host and some other people. It's really interesting. Greg is going to put a link
Yep.
in the chat here. And, if you're a podcaster, you like listening to stuff while you run or while you're driving around, it's something interesting. It's covers a bunch of bases of church-related stuff, leadership-related stuff, ethics, faith, theology, all sorts of different things. It's hard to, I find myself being really choosy who I recommend it to, because it's not necessarily a highly uplifting thing to listen
Yeah,
to.
it's not really a feel-good thing.
But it is interesting
It's not
just from a
depressing,
church
more or less,
sociological
just- yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
And for us in church leadership, I gained a lot of insight into, what does it mean to be a healthy leader?
Mhm.
What does it mean to be in a part of a healthy church? And more from this example, it's like, what does it mean to be in an unhealthy
Right.
environment and
Yeah,
an
well-
unhealthy leader?
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah. But if you're interested, you should listen to it. And what we're going to be doing with Greg and myself and a few other individuals, should I name them? Mike Stella, Brax Carvette, Bert Anderson,
I don't know who else.
maybe
No.
Ben. Ben may or may not
Maybe.
be a part of it.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a conversation around this podcast, and you're like, why would you do that? Well, there's a lot of complicated stuff and themes and issues to talk about, and I think the reason that we're going to have a conversation about it is because one of the ways to keep yourself from any of these pitfalls is just to simply talk about it.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of other themes that I think are great just as Christians to talk about. Like, just to give a little teaser, the one of the themes is deconstruction and deconstructing your faith. It's a big topic in just kind of the cultural conversation, more in particular in Christianity than it is probably in the secular world. But I think even in college environments, that word has been coming up quite a bit. So what does that mean? And so to be able to sit around and talk about that, how do you do something like that? What is the result of something like that? Talk about leadership. What makes a great leader? What are some toxic leadership traits? So the sort of some of those things, and being able to openly talk about it, and create a conversation that we could even have at a larger scale here at Northridge. So, I think it creates accountability, for all of us here in leadership, and you guys as part of our church here.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything to add, Greg?
No, I mean, you hit most of it. It's they're longer, hour plus for some of them.
Yeah, some of them are over an hour.
Yeah. So it can take a little time to get through if you don't, unless you have, work from home and you just always have stuff on in the background. But
It's not something that you
Yeah.
really just want to have on in the background. You probably
yeah,
want to
some of the
listen to it.
content just might be more like PG-13. Just every once in a while, there's some language that, oddly enough, comes from the pastor, Mark Driscoll.
It's funny because they beep some stuff out, but
Yeah,
they beep other. They don't
but
beep
other things
things.
they
yeah.
don't. Some of the content is like, it's mature themes, I guess.
And it's not nothing is
then-
like super explicit or
No,
egregious.
yeah, but stuff that, like we were talking to someone last night, it's like, you don't want to, your 12 or 13-year-old probably doesn't need to know that depth of like human interaction or adult, issues that come up in
Definitely adult
different-
themes.
Yeah, yeah. So, just a fair warning. It's nothing like nothing vulgar, but it's probably not the most interesting thing that kids would want to listen to. So,
Yeah.
but it's good, and it's if you've been around church world for any length of time, you'll probably identify sadly with some of the stuff because many of us have been in church environments, leadership environments that weren't the healthiest, and not just church, but maybe even a workplace environment. Where it is interesting from a sociological standpoint or just the way people interact, but
The hierarchy of
yeah, the ramifications of
structure
leadership.
and politics,
good
like
or
how we
bad.
organize
Yeah.
ourselves, managers or supervisors or bosses, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That can scale the same way in a business
Yeah.
place as it can in a church.
Absolutely, or any type of organization, nonprofit or whatever.
Right. So
Yeah.
probably sometime in March,
Mm-hmm.
and we will probably do. I don't know if we've decided if we're going to do a live stream of it all or if we're going to do a pre-recorded thing. I think the live stream would be interesting because if anybody watches and they have questions while we're talking about it, we can actually
Yeah,
interact
there's
with
an
people then.
interaction thing.
Now we do want to have the option, the disclaimer of being able to talk about our ideas out loud without
Yeah.
being like stapled to them for the
Ooh.
eternity.
Story
So
of
we
my
might
life.
get together and do like a pre-conversation about it all. But if anybody's interested, listen to this podcast if you haven't. If you've already listened to it,
Yeah.
then stay tuned for this conversation that we're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
And we would love even some of your feedback, input,
Yeah.
things that you'd like to hear talked about
Mm-hmm.
before we even do the video conversation
Yeah.
about it. So you can either email me or Greg. I'm gonna give my opinions and interject and everything, but I'm also going to be the one sort of hosting and kind of guiding the discussion.
Yeah. With your copious note taking.
So I've listened. The first time I listened to it, I took notes. I took notes and wrote down a bunch of questions for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I listened to it, which was pretty much as soon as I ended the first time listening to it.
So right back to back.
Yep, back to back. And then I went through, and then the second time, I didn't have my notebook out or my phone out, writing stuff down or taking notes. So I just listened to it.
Okay.
And then every once in a while, a question or, if I wanted to elaborate on a certain idea, I would grab my phone and just kind of put a really quick note. Actually, when I was at the conference, another question came up because that first dude from Eaglebrook,
Yeah.
it seemed like he had listened to this because he talked about
I remember
some themes.
Yeah.
He talked about deconstruction.
Yeah.
He talked about leadership.
Yeah.
He talked about all these things. So, yes. Anyway, the rise and fall of Mars Hill, Northridge style. I don't know
Northridge reacts.
Northridge, our reaction video,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I hate reaction videos.
That's
But so anything more about that?
no, we beat it to death.
All right. I'm gonna probably listen to it one more time while I'm traveling on my vacation.
While
to
you're
Hawaii.
waiting in the airport for 5 hours.
No,
from-
waiting. Like even on the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through the whole catalog of movies, on
Yeah.
my trip to
when
Orlando.
You're
It's
trying
like,
to avoid the awkward conversation with the guy next to you.
yeah. Well, he fell asleep pretty quick.
Okay.
And then on the way out there, yeah. Anyway, movies aren't that great. I watched Black Widow. again. I saw it when it came out, but then
I still haven't seen
it
it.
was like the only movie that was worth watching. But
Okay.
I probably, because I can just download the episodes, which I already have on my phone, and then just listen to those on the plane. So have you thought of a word, Greg? One word. We're a month in. Got 11 months left. What's one word for the rest of 2022? And if you have it, or I can tell you what mine is. And
Baseball.
but that's nothing really
have
you're
it.
doing,
No,
unless
no.
you're going to join a baseball league.
I'll like a scab if they have the lockout ends and then they have a strike
That'd be great.
across the line. Yeah.
It'd be like The Replacements.
Yeah.
Remember that movie? Keanu
Mhm.
Reeves. Such a good. It's actually a really good movie.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah. Was it Glory Never Lasts Forever? Chicks Dig Scars. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't have a word. No, I don't have a word.
Oh, come on.
I honestly forgot that you were going to ask about it.
So I brought this
Better.
up.
How about that? Better.
Better.
Just get
Okay.
better at everything.
Better. I brought this up in our small group the week right before New Year's. So we meet on a Thursday, so it was a couple days before New Year's Eve. And so we all talked about it. I actually said, if you could summarize, let me ask you this, give me an answer for this one. If you could summarize 2021 in one word for you, not for like the world, but just for you, Greg, what would your one word from 2021 be? We asked this even to the kids, because we got about 7 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 kids in our small group that are part of our families. So we even had the kids answer. What's your one word from last year, and what do you want your one word for 2022 to be? What would you say is a summary of 2021 for you in one word?
I'm in between two different words. So my first thought was different.
The word different?
Yeah, it was just a different year. And the second would be the other thought was just perseverance. I mean, just there were a lot of changes for us. Kids going to different schools, Jordan taking a different job, working full time for the first time in a long time. And yeah, there were just adjustments and stuff like that. So it was different. And then throw in like continued, COVID and restrictions and different things. Just different. It was a different year.
Yeah.
Things were different. And, but then, yeah, we had to persevere through some of that, I guess. So.
Yeah, I think my word for 2021 was regroup. It's just kind of a lot of stuff happened in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And even though there was a lot of stuff that happened in the next year, it was more of like just kind of a year of just reassessing everything and collecting myself.
Yeah.
In some ways, picking myself up off the ground, and with my
Regroup.
dad passing away and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But my word for 2022, keep thinking about it because I'm going to ask you about it again, is risk.
The game?
Not the game,
I know.
not like
Just
baseball.
joking.
It's risk, and it's also singular.
You're gonna do one thing risky.
That's what I told the small group. Yeah,
Singular.
yeah,
That's
risk.
funny.
Just one. And I have no idea. I keep looking for. Is this it?
Is this the one
moment?
thing you can't blow it in February?
That's
you
what I
gotta
thought. Well,
wait.
there was a moment in January where I was like, maybe this is it.
What?
And then
what could
I
it
let
have
it
been?
go. I let it go by.
What,
And then
what was it? What, you don't want to tell
I'm
us
not
what
gonna
it
say
was.
anything. Maybe it's in Hawaii. Maybe it's not
Oh.
even not in this half of the year. Who knows? So it's risk.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I think that should be a word every year.
Maybe. Yes, that should be your word.
Yes. I want to say yes more.
Have you seen
Yeah.
the Yes Man for Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Yeah. While he's
No,
thinking
I don't
about
have a- I
that,
don't have a word.
think about if you have one word for the rest of the year.
One word for the rest of the year.
Yeah, one word for the year, 2022. You get a month free.
It's February, so by the time we're back next week, well, you'll be gone. 2 weeks.
Yeah. If you can
It'll
do
be
it,
like a month and a half.
Yeah, you can do it with Brax
Maybe I'll
or
jump on
somebody
here
else.
with Brax or someone else. Hey, who wants to come host the podcast next week? And try to keep things
We got to get.
going.
Do
Well,
we want to have Still on? He still wants to come.
yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have him talk about Mars Hill stuff, but I think he wanted to come talk about something else.
Yeah.
I don't
let's
know. He
do it.
texted me. I think I was down in Orlando when he texted about still wanting to do the podcast.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people that should be in here
Right.
doing stuff.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to come
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
chat.
I mean, we've had Dan in here,
Yep.
shorts and all.
Shorts and all. I bet he's wearing shorts today.
Probably 10 below,
Brr.
shorts.
Yes.
What's his thing? It's like if it's 20 below or something, he'll wear.
Uh,
Yeah, whatever.
It's crazy. What's his thing?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll jump on here next week if I
Okay.
can find someone. I'll think about it at 1:30 on Thursday, and if someone's
Grab
around,
somebody. Grab
maybe
Rubel.
probably
Rubel.
like Andy Rubel and Tammy,
That'd be-
and the other in the office, and it's usually us three around, and we'll.
Is it
Yeah.
possible to do a FaceTime call or like a Zoom through
Oh.
Wirecast?
I don't know.
Because you could Zoom me, because that would be.
You'd be just waking up. Was it 5 hours?
Yeah, it'd be 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
I'd be
9
up.
in the morning. So
I could be out on the balcony of our place that we're staying with the
no,
ocean
we
in the
don't
back.
want that. We don't want that. It'll still be like 10 below here.
I'd be happy to do that if you want to do it. Just for
If we could put some of those, like, the backgrounds, like, you could put on and Zoom,
we'd
like do the beach
be
background.
in
or
fake Hawaii,
something.
I'd be in real
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Just for a little bit. Just say hi. If you can't find anybody else to,
Maybe.
maybe. All right. Well, think about your one word. We'll get it another time. Hope you're doing well. Hope you all show up this weekend, or at least join us
Yeah.
online. You're not second citizen if you join us online. You're the same. We're all the
Yeah.
same. But just to be together, worship, just growing our love for God, and figure out more what it means to follow Jesus together. Got questions, needs, any concerns, anything you need, let us know. We'd love to love on you and love to help you with whatever's going on. And that's it. That's it.
That's all.
You good?